Back here to the ESL Arena here in Cologne, and we are bringing you Total War Arena. This is the gameplay premiere. We're going back to Thermopylae. It's time. I'm joined again by my dear colleagues, Dave, Elliot. How are you guys doing? How's the day been for you so far?
Amazing, to be honest. It's been absolutely brilliant. It's been so good to be here. I can't thank everyone enough for coming and for you for hosting this. It's been awesome. I'm just revved to get to the next game, to be honest. I just want to see what happens. Lessons have been learned. Everyone, strategies have been changed. People are playing different roles. I just want to see what happens.
The hot gates make their return.
They do.
Hashtag meet me at the hot gates.
Yeah, meet me at the hot gates.
It's going to be good.
It's time, and we're loving that you guys are getting so involved with that, and I love the support that was out there for I Believe in Jesse. I genuinely believe that hashtag helped him, because I mean, it's I wouldn't say it's anybody's now, but obviously it's open. I mean, we're at a different tier level. We're back on a map they've both won at before. As we said before, the learning curve has played in. The teams have warmed up. They're getting their strategies. What do you guys see, coming out of this?
Well, I think Thermopylae might play a bit differently, because this map's a lot smaller, and I may be wrong, but the cavalry are going to be a lot more locked down. They won't have the room that they had on Marathon to keep weaving around and getting the time to bring back in those charges. And that, combined with the Ethereal Spearmen, which we've seen Duck used to some ridiculous degree, and the Gladiator Spears, which we haven't actually seen a lot of. So I'd be really excited to see someone pull them out, because they've got a good charge combined with Germanicus. They can be really, really powerful. So yeah, I'd be really excited to see whether this changes up the play style a bit. It'll be interesting.
Now, of course, we spoke a lot about some of the things that happen as you move up in the tier level. Are they going to change the strategy that they bring to Thermopylae this time? I mean, we said before, you rushed through the hot gates. We saw Jesse do it, kind of full-heartedly almost. There was a lot of damage. They had the Arsenal that kind of fell in on them. Is that going to play into their mindset?
So, I mean, yeah, the tier will change the strategies to some effect, to some degree, but the biggest playmaker here, the biggest effect will be literally their strat. How do they counter Duck? Possibly, like David's previously mentioned, the map will partially counter Duck if he goes cavalry again, so that might be a little bit easier for Team Leonidas to counter. Will they go down the hot gates again? I hope so. I
want to see hot gates, but it's a really fast tier. We haven't seen as much heavy infantry used to such success as we have in tier 5. This is a really, really fast tier. It's about those quicker spearmen. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
Very good indeed. Now, obviously, one of the things as you kind of move up is the kind of the tactics, but also the consumables. Do you think that they'll play a role in the way that they set up going into this map?
Of course. So we touched on the consumables earlier, where we spoke about using caltrops. I'd love to see some caltrops. They're nearly invisible.
In the forest.
They're a real pain in the forest and high grass. They can really mess you up. Again, spiky things on horses. It's awful. Spiky thing on men's feet. It's terrible. There's that. Also, consumables can be used in different ways. So you've seen the different artillery types that have been coming in.
Yep.
Those are consumables, so the explosive types. There's a really interesting one, Acrid Smoke, which actually reduces the morale of anyone that gets hit by it, and it knocks their visibility right down as well. So if you get hit by that, you're suddenly blind and your unit wants to run. So it's kind of this little push, more, again, a supporting artillery role rather than sort of a damage dealer. So yeah, it's kind of interesting.
I love that morale feature. I love the idea that you've got to keep your troops basically happy and willing to fight.
It's not just about health, right?
It's not just saying, normally you just point somewhere and say, do what I tell you, do my bidding. Here, there's a chance that they go, not today, I'm not that excited about this idea.
They're choking on smoke. They don't want to fight. They want to get out of there. Like, they can't breathe. So,
which needs to be taken. And we've got three maps again here to look forward to. I think it's going to be close. I want to see Jesse do some good stuff, but predictions?
I'm going to go for it. I'm a gambler. I'm going to put my money on Jesse and Team Leonidas.
Does that mean I have to go for Leonidas?
You need to counter that, really.
We can coach the teams from the back. I want to see this team. I want to see Jesse's team pull it out. I want to see some return, because Leonidas played really, really strongly. It'll be interesting to see these guys keep upping the ante and keep playing the underdog and winning. Well, winning dog.
Everybody likes an underdog story, guys. I think it's time for us to go over to our good friends James and Lee, because it's time to get this fourth map of the day underway. We're going back to Thermopylae. We're going back to the hot gates. Two guys that will take us there are, of course, Lee and James.
Thank you very much, guys. Well, that's the big question. Can Jesse do it? Can he draw it all the way back in his crew? Or not so much Jesse, as he just pointed out in the interview, is his team. And then he just kind of says, what am I doing?
I think that's probably the best way to look at it. I think it's worked out quite well for him in that game.
I think it's probably more Mecca's team and Jesse's Total, maybe.
I think that they're all chipping in there. There's
I think so.
There's a lot of experience on that team from Total War and obviously from Arena. And like I said, one of the guys who's really stepped up on that team and is very visible all the time is Jake Fish, and he's done a great job. He's got in there and he's been clearing up on a lot of those range units, which are some of the most deadly, especially when it comes to capping bases.
Let's see where they go then. So Jesse Cox is going to be at the front. That's not going to be piling down the hood gates, or maybe he is. He's in the position to this time. Of course, game one was when he barreled down in there. You can see, of course, the vision. Oh, look at this, bit of tactical drawing coming out. Okay, so we're going to have a little glimmer of what they plan on going with. Yeah, let's say he wants to hold it. Nobody wants to go down those hood gates.
Hood gates are not always a good place to go.
No, it's not a good place. Interesting game. This one was 2-1 the first time they played this one, the first game of the day. If you missed that, guys, it was a few hours ago. But very close matches, no doubt about it. Solid performance, game one, actually, from Leonidas on this map.
Yeah, they really just went all out. And, they did a great job. And if they can replicate that again, or both teams going to come into this the last map, and be a bit more timid and be a bit more cautious, not wanting to be too reckless and lose it. So we'll see. But I kind of think also on this on the hot gates here, you see you've got that main route there, but you can go around the water on the side, and I haven't seen anyone actually go for that, because at the end of the day, if you go down that hot gate and you go around the waterway, you're kind of committing completely. It's almost impossible to get back in time if the battle swings decisively somewhere else.
It's also a case of if you get spotted,
that as well.
Screwed. Oh, look at this. Jesse once again sending one set of units back into base. Going to keep hold of that one just in case Duck does try and sneak around. As he just said in the interview, he can try and sneak around all he likes. I'm going to be there ready and waiting for him.
Yeah, it does also leave a kind of an opportunity where the other team are aware that you're going to do that. So, or maybe they'll just go all out for whatever comes in front of them. If we can get a good view on Mecca, because his cavalry is going to be doing the important scouting early on, and he's the kind of guy that we need to... technically, he lost them a game on this map almost with his reckless charges early on. So he's got his legionary cavalry, very effective, very heavy unit for the Romans. And yeah, he's going with Scipio, so he has cavalry charge. So Scipio has a heavier charge than standard
does
cavalry.
More damage, yeah.
Does a lot more damage and so forth. He also has War Cry, which breaks down the morale. So it won't break morale of the enemy unit completely, but if you chip away at it slightly, or if you come in after something else had just happened, or a unit was already engaged and took some damage, you'd push it over.
And this is very important to point out, because a lot of people I know that obviously have played Total War a lot will be saying, okay, you've only got 3 units, all you got to do is send them in, they're engaged, and then nothing else happens. You need to realize there's a lot of micro that goes into this, obviously with the abilities. Now, obviously with his general, the R is ineffective because of the troops he types his unit, but the T is the...
Oh, for perseverance.
Oh, that's the... Okay, we saw that earlier on.
Yeah, lose complete control, but
lose control, but they go crazy. They could become crazy aggressive. F is the charge. That's going to be the cavalry charge, so you just plow on through, do massive amounts of damage. And G is the war cry, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, and it like I said,
it's like a morale boost.
Yeah. It takes down the enemy morale, and it really
so it's a fear.
Breaks it. Yeah.
Is it the fear?
It's war cry.
There is a fear in there. I'm not sure if it's him that has it, but.
And so it's very good if you find a fight that's already going on where it's kind of in the balance. It really does.
The United are playing defensive here. They're playing. Look at this. They've got the. I mean, it's a perfect setup. Look at Gunnar. Gunnar's got a great setup. He's defended. Jake Fish and Mecca not going aggressive. They're calming things down. They're scouting out. We can see units coming around there. They actually are. They're coming around the beach. It's Jake. Yes, Jake spotted them. There you go. Leviathan will try and sneak around there.
So what are they going to do there? I mean, it's always nice to have a quick look around. So there you go. This is going to be an interesting one. So Baron, so that generally means Duck is behind him, which he is, and that means they're going to try and take the high ground. And something that they've constantly laid a claim to from the beginning to now.
Oh, Mecca, got to get out of there quicker. Got a cavalry charge out of there, in fact, because Duck, with those light units, very fast in those trees. Oh, not quite going to catch him out there. Mecca's... Oh, he's routed. He's routed.
He used fear on his unit as well, so that's why it broke so quickly.
And he managed to get out. Luckily, the fear's sending him back in the right direction. It actually helped him out.
It's exactly what you need sometimes, but it can be a really nasty, especially when there's cavalry following up. It's just a constant harassing as you guys just get cut down.
So this hill advantage obviously here for Gunnar. Also, we saw on the right-hand side, the hill advantage actually, I think it was Baron that was maybe up there alongside Duck once again, up on the top hill.
So this is important here, because the artillery for Team Germanicus is trying to counter battery the artillery from Leonidas. But the thing about the artillery for Leonidas, it's in an obvious place. Oh, he's using ballista. He's using ballista. So I think he's using ballista, which is a much more focused, like large missile. It just fires it
across. It's a gigantic spear, basically.
But basically, it's a gigantic javelin, which he's firing across, and you can pick off artillery
completely.
Yeah, so I'm trying to work out exactly what the backing off was for. But maybe they're just trying to lure them in a bit.
You saw Mecha doing the clear general work there, just drawing the line on the map fiercely. Hold the line here. Do not go any further. Once again, he's got to be drawn attention by Paul S. Paul S, both cavalry charging, actually trying to get out of there. Mecha having to go uphill a little bit, which is what slowed him down. He stops that charge. Shermanator was trying to get around the back. Much more tactical this time around, no doubt about it.
Those ballistas are causing mass amounts of damage to Mecha as well. So Paulus is using a single unit of cavalry here to scout ahead and let the ballistas hammer any unit that comes into vision.
Oh, we can see actually.
You can see the shots coming in every so often. You see like mass units going down.
I think that hit on his own unit. I didn't see who that actually hit there on the hill. Oh, okay, it's Prince. I think it was that Duck once again up there. It looked like it may have been Duck up there again. But that, I'm not sure that artillery is actually helping. That much artillery coming in unless it's aimed at the back.
Just watch a shot will come in every so often, and I think that's what they're using the ballista for. They're just trying to knock out the cavalry units, and they're just wearing them down.
Yeah, Mecha's having to back away. Paul's still fully tapped off. Now, they've got to be careful. Jesse's holding this line. He doesn't want to get Paul around the back of him. Paul's trying to corral them back. Maybe try and get around, and then of course that would buy opportunity. Now Shermanator's having to back off as well. Mecha's once again drawn into this one. They're both cavalry charge into each other. Mecha came out pretty well there considering how low he was at the start, but now they could try and get onto Paul. Look at Paul, he's just trying to lead them on a merry dance around the back there. Shermanator should be able to cover him off. Meanwhile, Gunnar firing off.
Through.
Paul has through. He's got through.
That's dangerous.
If he gets onto Gunnar, that's a problem. They've got to charge him down. They've got to catch on towards him. Paul's going to get around. Jesse's going to head him off.
Yeah, okay, but which one's he going to go to? So obviously
protect the two. Oh, he's got around the back of Dr. Prof.
That's a clever move. He didn't have to do that. There's no need to commit to a suicide run. And it looks like Team Germanicus is on the attack here, using the woods, Lionheart there, and that will most likely be side straight behind them. And they're slowly pushing up.
Oh, Shermanator's going to try and get around here. Leviathan's the one that's come through. Is he going to go full charge? No, he's trying to draw them. Look at it. He's trying to draw. Is he going to get around the side? Is he even watching?
He might do it.
How did he get around? Oh, Mecha could do a massive charge here. He could do a massive charge straight in the line. This could be perfect. This could be a great cavalry charge. But we do see Hugo doing the same. And Hugo strikes first, and that was devastating on Mecha. That absolutely stopped his line dead. Now Lionheart pushing through. Hugo did some great work there. Paul Esquez going to come around the side. Jakefish going to try and back him up. Oh, that's another great charge. Paul didn't quite catch on towards Mecha, but Mecha's in trouble.
Yeah, that was painful. And once again, the accumulated damage that the cavalry's been taking over from ballista fire and just overall fighting has really started to hurt.
Shermanator could be a problem. Shermanator coming around the back, as is Dr. Pross. Going to get around, going to cause him problem. I believe it's Dr. Proof. Is it Proof or Prus? Prus. Maybe it's German. Prus.
Prus, that sounds fine.
Yeah. We're going to go with that one, okay. Just going to double check that one. I should have probably checked it with the player as soon as I found it. Jakefish, though, coming in. He's got to split that cavalry up a bit. He could cause a lot of problem on side strafe here.
Yeah, and while this fight is going on outside of the base for Leonidas, a massive push is going in to the Germanicus base here. So this is going to get interesting.
Is that too deep, though, I wonder? The hood gates also are being tested. This artillery, right on top of side strafe. That's going to cause problems. It's holding well as well. Going to need to get himself a position, get himself an angle. But Paul S is going to try and creep around. Good archer is coming out. Dr. Frost causing problems. In terms of numbers, we can see that, well, Team Germanicus slightly have the edge. Jesse's got to be careful. He could get flanked here. If this fight goes bad in the middle, which it looks like it is, this could actually go really bad for Jesse. And you can see Hugo now coming in. Jesse's got to hold that line.
So what's going on now?
Oh, Gunnar, you're in trouble.
Leonidas has to pull what they can back to their base and hope they can hold the line here.
Hugo's going to get the artillery. There's no way that Gunnar's getting away from this one. You can see he's trying to pull in there, but he's dead. He is a dead man. The charge is not really going to come in. It's going to be an awkward charge, a weird angle. Oh, actually, he's got himself lined up. Yeah, Mecha's trying to get back there, but no, it's gonna be a suicidal charge maybe, but Gunnar's going to lose that. There it is. That's the ballista going down. Jesse does back away in towards it, but look, the cap has begun. So Leonidas, at the moment, have a team capping out in the other end.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one, but hopefully, if that artillery is still up with Diplex, then he always has a way of denying that cap. So it all comes down to that. And you see, the cap hasn't been denied yet, but it's only a matter of time. Duck's trying to do what he can, and that's going to be the interesting thing. Because if those infantry units are coming down from the hill, which they are, and they just hit one heavy infantry charge or whatever ability they have that does damage, they're going to push that cap straight back.
Oh, there it is. Cap's gone. It must have just happened.
And Baron once again with Duck, and they are just causing so much damage.
But there's a lot of people here still. Malekith, Duck's in trouble. That cap is going to be very close. It may actually be a cap fight right now, because look at the amount of troops that Germanicus have here as well. But this time Leonidas do have the numbers to defend. They're losing out slowly. Oh, wow, Mecha just got absolutely massacred in that one. Yeah, there goes all these troops.
Melted.
That was Mecha getting melted, so we know we're still seeing Mecha. But look at this, in the base, Duck is causing problems. Duck and Baron, this time on the defense. They're ordinarily the attackers. Jesse's going to hold out. This is going to be a tough charge, though. Leviathan's going to come in towards it. He has to meet it with a charge head on.
He's waiting for that push and hold the line on him, but the problem is there's just so many range units surrounding him here. And there, focus fire just went down. I'm wondering if that's going on Jesse or whatever was coming off a hill. He's just totally surrounded here.
The cap is starting once again. This time Leonidas have managed to step theirs. You can say, but Leonidas are on a cap themselves. Diplex actually trying to slow things down. Warrior of Sparta trying to kill off Duck here. It's Baron, basically. Baron could be a massive point. Malekith tries to keep them at range. You can see Prince of Macedonia. He's going to try and get a little pick on him, trying to keep him, try and pincer him in. If he actually forces him to fight in that little gap, it would work well.
Yeah, but as soon as they take any damage, it's over.
Oh, Jesse's been charged. Jesse just got charged, actually, in his own base. But this is going to be very close. Look at the cap difference immediately. It's 45%. Oh, they've managed to stop it. They've stopped Leonidas' cap. 55% coming in for Germanicus. Germanicus have surely got this one in the bag. 70% already ticking. Now they have to do something. They've managed to slow the cap a little. Is it going to be enough? I don't think it is. 65% on the board. Germanicus are so close to this one. They've stopped it. They've stopped Leonidas' cap. That has to be the game. 90% cap for Germanicus. That just got chunked back as well. Oh, this game is so close to finishing, but it looks like Germanicus will finally close things out here. They have the control, they have the map in their hands, and it will be Germanicus that will take it. 95% down, unless something stops. There it is. Base cap works out. It was a tricky little trade back and forward, but Germanicus do manage to win the first round of Thermopylae.
Yeah, and that ballista work at the beginning really threw off all the cavalry play from Jakefish and Mecha. They were going around, they were playing with Polus, they were trying to catch him out, but every so often shots were coming in and they were taking out big chunks of cavalry. They weren't killing the unit outright, but they were bringing it down health-wise so much. But when it came down to the big head-on cav fights, they were just completely overwhelmed.
Whew, once again, crazy battle, very close between these two teams. They've definitely stepped up their game over the last few matches, that's for sure.
And what really, the changing ballista instead of using your catapult really did change the nature of that fight, because all of a sudden it's not you trying to dodge a shot you can see coming in, it's just all of a sudden a shot's in all the time.
It's so
he
fast,
was trying
you
to
don't
get
even see it coming.
Nothing
yeah.
you can do. You got to just be quick and try not to get into situations where artillery can line up shots like that.
Yeah, we'll have to watch Germanicus in the next matchup to see if he sticks with it, of course, when they decide to change things up or not. Germanicus did manage to come out 2-1 on top on Thermopylae the first time we played this. Leonidas picked themselves up one win on here. They're going to have to pick up more, though. Can they close things out? Can they draw it equal on maps? Could you claim that little moral victory?
They could definitely go for that one.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day now, they just got to do what they can and try and salvage some pride out of this game. And what really happened there is they were in there for the cap. They may have got it. It was just that their defence outside the base completely crumbled, and they were just caught out.
Yeah, the cavalry actually got run down. We saw with Mecca. Mecca actually got caught pretty hard by.
That would have been Paulus. He's all over.
Was it Paulus or was it Jake? I thought it was Jake that actually caught him.
It's Hugo. Hugo and
Hugo. It was Hugo.
And
Hugo
Paulus's cavalry have just been
Hugo with
harassing.
a full charge. Mecca's basically being single-handedly targeted. That's the problem when you're known as a good cavalry player. You know, the other team are just going to be like, let's double team him, and that's how you take a guy out of the game. You want to keep on towards him. Jesse there on screen. How's he going to handle this one? How's he going to pull himself back into this? Him and his team. Total War Arena is the game. If you've just joined us, this is the closed alpha. And already, it is very exciting in this current state.
Yeah, and it's just more to come, really. It's great to be able to show it off in such a venue like this in Cologne. And yeah, this has been really great. And it's just watching it, and more importantly, being around with the players as well, just makes me want to jump in there and do it.
Yeah, you've been already talking about, I'd love to have played in this the whole time.
Yeah.
And then who would have commentated with me?
Oh, we'll get Jesse up here.
Where can we find someone?
Get Duck, me, and sneak his way into casting on here instead.
There's Baron on your screen. He's been doing a great job. He was the man that stopped the capping in the last game for Leonidas. Yeah, here we go. Map 2, Thermopylae. How will it work out? Will it be a change? I don't know. Leonidas, it's playing for pride now. It's all about pride, I feel, for Leonidas.
So both Sidestrafe and Baron have been... they've not played any arena before. We brought them in, and the fact that they've been able to get up to speed so quick, and more importantly, been able to work so well.
Unit.
Yeah, there is the
ballista,
the dreaded ballista, who have been doing so much damage against cavalry. But yeah, they got up to speed very quickly, and like you've seen, they've been tagging up as groups.
This is what he did before. He gets himself into those woods, and they never once had vision of those woods, so they couldn't see it, so they couldn't hit it with the artillery. Meanwhile, like you said, the artillery was in an obvious position on the hill there, and he was just aiming at those obvious spots.
Yeah, I mean, almost every time I've seen Duck hitting the same places on the map all the time. One light unit straight down the middle, 2 up on the top of the hill, Baron in support, and then everything else kind of just going in wherever there's an opening. And right now they've been going great for that. Lionheart taking us around the map.
I was going to say, what's he showing us there? Showing us the army camp. This is where the camp in. This is where
he was showing the camp of what would have been the Persian army.
The Persian army,
the Battle of Thermopylae.
Yep.
We take snapshots of a map from a historical setting and then create a map around it.
Paulus.
Paulus loves his scouting. He's very good.
He's very good at it.
So he takes away his 2 units. He leaves 2 units behind. He uses that single unit.
Well, so he can just focus on the one,
And when you've got stuff like that, you can do a great job.
No doubt.
Now let's see these ballistas coming in, because I've got a feeling they're not far away. You see the pings coming in.
Oh, no, not going to land. But now look, basically he's drawing out the positions. He's drawing out the positions. We can see line out there, side strafe. But more importantly, Diplo. Look at Diplo just ahead. Got himself in there. Paul actually is on top of him at the moment, just to the right, isn't he?
Yeah, Diplex just setting up with his lovely ballistas, and they're just really painful. They just take out heavy units like quite easily.
Jesse's pushing forward into the gate a little bit, just a more of a scout mission than actual aggression, I feel.
He likes the hot gates. Almost every time he's played this map, he enjoys going on the hot gates. I think it's his
the challenge. It's the challenge he likes to face.
I'm sure his ancestor was a Spartan, and he's just fulfilling an ancestral need to go die in the hot gates.
Well, everywhere is covered off, and once again we're seeing a tactical defensive approach. Paulus constantly scouting. Looks like Lionheart chose to step his troops forward a little. Have a little look around there. Side strafe will no doubt move with him. As soon as he steps forward, there we go. We see him going forward. Oh, engagement at the top there. Baron actually spotted out. I think it's Warrior of Sparta throwing out his pilotates. Pilotate? I keep saying that one wrong.
Oh, Velite. Sorry, no, you Velite. Oh, you mean the
Pilar.
the javelin? Pilar. Yeah. Just think of it like rice.
Pilar rice. Pilar rice, exactly what I was thinking. I was like, I got that one in my head now.
It's all right, you're English, it's okay, it's perfectly normal.
Oh, hello, they've engaged. Duck's jumped out of the forest.
Yeah, if we can get an eye on Duck and see exactly what the action is on the top of the hill, because that's where it seems to the decisive moment. And you can see Duck's here using his light infantry to best effect against
Use Fear and Warrior Sparta as well. I think the Duck's general, maybe, that middle one.
Oh, he's always trying this. He's trying to come around the back, keeping them kept in the centre, and then he always goes for a sneaky attack from behind. But they know about it. Look.
Oh, look at that. Prince of Macedon expecting this one. The chase on. He's going to try and get on towards them. Not too sure it's going to work out for them. They actually have the numbers as well at the top, which actually is the same last time around. Oh, that was a good little charge. Now Mecca's going to try and get on towards him, but Duck's wants to engage. Duck's going to go for a full charge onto Mecca. I'm not sure if he's going to land it. Mecca's going to turn and bound. Oh, the artillery landed on his teammate. Now Duck completely running them rabid. You can see he's getting around the back of Malekith. Malekith's going to get charged down. He has the speed advantage to try and run through them. This is Duck just basically playing complete nuisance around the back while he buys time. And look at Lionheart. Lionheart's advancing, but he's getting caught now with the artillery.
Yeah, and Duck's using his advantage of his light infantry in the woods, dropping shield, and just using that speed advantage to just run rings around Leonidas's defense here. But he has been caught out. They knew he was coming.
They knew he was coming.
They really knew he was coming, and I think that has just been good reading of our opponents. And Duck has, like I said, been going the same places over and over and over again.
Is it good reading when he's done it 10 times already? 9 times already? I'm not sure that's good reading, or that's just like common sense now, it seems. I could have even read that he was going there. Malekith doing damage though. Baron's about to get taken out. That set of units. Shermanator's going to get around the back of Duck. Duck this time is getting taken out early, it seems. Although we thought that last time.
Yeah,
and look at that. The units have got safe. They're behind Lionheart. Lionheart's managed to cover him off.
Yeah, and once again, that wall of blue of Germanicus is just pushing forward into the base. And Duck doing what he does, using the light infantry to chase down whatever comes into the woods. We might as well just name them Duck's Woods at this point.
Duck's Woods, but now we see Germanicus. They are making the push like they did before. This time around, though, numbers do not favour them because they haven't won out that top battle at the top, and they haven't really engaged too much skirmish here in the middle. The artillery has been kept safe as well, that's more importantly. And the cavalry has actually played it a lot safer. Malekith, where are you going? He's trying to draw them in. Okay, he was trying to get the range down on him. I see what you were doing. He was just drawing them in. Actually takes a couple of Pilars himself from Lionheart, I think it was actually Lionheart that maybe tossed them out there. He's
Lionheart's been
got his shields up, so he's covering off. So all of those spears, javelins, pilars, everything was raining in towards him. It's not going to do a great deal of damage.
Yeah, and this is the kind of thing, you start to get forced to go forward. Yeah, he needs to go forward now. He's took down Ray.
He's got to go up the hill. He's got to push up the hill. This is a charge. So if Total Warzone were to charge down now, he would come out on top. There we go. You can see the numbers.
Oh, he had 2 units for that as well, and that makes it even worse for Lionheart because he now can't get his charge off on this unit. But Total Warzone here, he needs to use all 3 of his units to block this gap, but he's got one in reserve too far back.
Yeah, he needs to get across the side here. Lionheart's going to try and flank. He's trying to get onto Malekith, but he is going uphill. Total Warzone does turn the heavy infantry charge. Oh, Lionheart just got hit hard, but Paul S has now come in. So Total Warzone's first set of units, it has gone down. Paul S is round the back of them. He's been left alone. Now Shermanator's going. He wants to try and get that charge down on him, but Lionheart's causing problems.
Yeah, he broke through finally. He got the better of that charge because the unit ended up getting kind of caught between 2, and now but Lionheart's surrounded by range. This is not good.
Well, he's got his shields up. I mean, it's going to block a lot of it, but Total Warzone's going to manage to cap out and get on towards him. There's the infantry charge. That's going to do a lot of damage towards him. Now it's starting to cause problems. Lionheart up against a tough battle here right now. Numbers very much in favour of Team Leonidas. They have themselves, nearly a 400 unit advantage. You can tell the defensive system this time has worked wonders.
Yeah, they've done a great job here. But it was how they read Duck's. They caught him out. He didn't get any of the strength he really wanted. He wanted to be able to do a lot of damage to Malekith. It just didn't work out well. But this is their last chance to win here. They're pushing hard on the right flank, and they might be able to force a cap situation.
Well, Mecca's trying to get around the back of them. Lionheart has been completely routed round the side there. He's been... There we go. That's Lionheart now out of the game. He's now simply a spectator, as we are. Jake Fish is going to get the charge onto us. Sagirion there, Sagirion in trouble. Oh, but Gunner's been chased down, so they've managed to get the artillery down, as is often the case. Diplex is now, he's been found. Shermanator's coming for him, Prince of Macedon's coming for him. Ramblers, little units at the back there, they have to get involved.
I think
they got feared and routed.
Just told them.
Yeah. Lionheart's like, hey buddy, do you want to get into this one? There we go, that's a good charge. They do the damage, but Diplex is still at Prince of Macedon. Where you going? Why are you chasing Duck? What, they ignored the ballista. The ballista's still there.
And Paulus with his 4-man cav unit coming into play into the base. I'm not sure if it's going to do particularly great. But Jakefish and Shermanator, keeping their cav alive, and they play such an important role late game if you can keep them alive. But it's too easy to throw them away at times because they're so maneuverable.
Well, Rambler is still in defensive position. I think that's what they've done. They've called for defense. Germanicus are pulling back. And now Leonidas, well, they have the numbers, but a lot of them are in the base. And that's not going to score your points. Ooh, where did that come from? Gunner just got taken out there. I didn't see what rained on towards them. I think it was maybe Shirion. Oh, that's a Leviathan's got a lot of troops there. Shermanator could cause problems for them. Now we're seeing Duck in defense once again, just as he was in the previous matchup. But this time he's outnumbered. Diplex. Why are they not chasing Diplex down? They don't see him, do they, surely? I think Prince of Macedon just doesn't see it.
They definitely have vision on him, but I think their worry right now is the cav. You kind of have this mix of dealing with either the cavalry or either the ballista, which is destroying you. But either way, they've got the number advantage here, so they can let this drag out as long as they want, because at the end of the day, they've got an advantage of 400 men.
Well, there is that ballista has now been taken out. Duck's trying to cause problems, but Prince of Macedon's going to once again try and engage him, but he's so speedy, Duck, with his little spearmen. Drop the shields, and he just runs rings around you. Trying to buy time for Diplex, who has dropped that unit. Hasn't lost it. Can he reclaim this?
No, when he dropped his shield, he got charged there. Oh, and Prince of Macedon finally got his charge on him, and there's the shock, and that morale might push him over the edge here. And there you go, that unit just broke.
Yeah, absolutely. Rambler's going to have to come in and support. He should be able to get a heavy cavalry charge on towards Prince of Macedon here, but he's got to be careful he doesn't get locked up. That is going to be Duck out of the game, and now just 100 units remain, and you can see starting to come across the middle of the field. Leonidas and crew, the team of Jesse Cox, looks to be taking revenge here on Thermopylae and evening things up on this match.
Yeah, and
take us to a close finish, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And I think basically you had Duck there trying as best as he can to run rings around Prince of Macedon, but eventually, the long hardcore expert who's been playing Total War for a long time finally caught him out with a charge and took him down.
Yeah, that's how they had to do it. So, Jesse Cox and crew looking to take this one out. It's just simply a case of closing out the game, getting in, capping out the points. You can see Mecha still in there, Malekith making his way through. And this should be an easy game for them.
Yeah. I mean, this is easily one of the biggest victories we've had so far. All of our games have been a lot closer, and this one's going to come down as a massive one-sided beating from Cox's team.
Yeah, Jesse Cox and crew coming through. There's Rambler. He's going to get routed. He's going to get taken down. Now we see Jesse Cox's team making their way through. Look at the numbers. Look how many units are still alive as they push on through. Rambler flanked, taken out, dropped, and that is victory, ladies and gentlemen. Leonidas will take themselves another game on Thermopylae. A much important, needed game, that's for sure, for them.
So at least they can save if they win the next game.
They can tie it up 2-2 in maps.
Yeah, so they've always got that.
They've always got that to fall back on, even if it goes to 7-5, I think is all it can be now.
Yeah, but either way, they can feel a little better in themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. So, final map. It's a big one for Jesse Cox's team. Can they tie themselves up in maps? It would be a moral victory, maybe. I'm not too sure. That's about all. Lionheart and team, though, this time around, they were caught out. I didn't say caught out. They were the attackers. And as was proven, Leonidas' team decided to defend. We didn't see Mecha and crew out there charging too heavily. They sat back. Everybody sat back. Let them come up the hill. Let them come at us. And it worked out. They had big numbers advantage. And, more importantly, actually, like you said, they were ready for Baron and Duck on that hill and outnumbered them up there.
Yeah, definitely. And also we're quite aware that Duck likes to try and use those forests as a highway, tried to go around the back. He did catch Malekith slightly, but it didn't do as much damage as he wanted, and he paid the price for that as well. And then when everyone else came in and tried and help, they also paid the price as well. And Lionheart was forced into a situation because he came to defend Duck, but he then had to go up the hill, massive disadvantage in height, and he paid the price with a charge from Total Warzone who just took him out.
Absolutely fantastic stuff here in the arena. Total War Arena, ironically enough. We are here in Cologne. We're going to be back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a quick break, and the final map of Thermopylae will be in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere.